Welcome back. This is ADWCTA, and you are listening or watching to the Lightforge podcast, March of the Lich King card review for the arena. We are doing Druid, and we're going from best cards to worst cards. So, the best card in Druid is a legendary. I don't know if I want to keep doing this. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to start doing legendaries last now. It's just weird to do legendaries with all the other cards. So all the non-legendaries, best cards to worst cards. Then we'll do the two legendaries. It'll be like before. Okay. Best non-legendary card is only a B+. It is only a B+. There are no A tier cards for Druid at all. The Lingering Zombie. This one actually surprised me that it came out to be a B+ and not even higher. But I guess it just goes to show how little impact 1-mana cards have. Lingering Zombie is a 1-mana 1/1 undead. Death Rattle. Summon a 1/1 disarm zombie with Death Rattle. Summon a 1/1 zombie. So it's like a Mermy or something, right? But you get an extra body at the end of it. That's super tempo for 1 mana. And that's a B+. Because I guess if you're locked about what's a Mermy? And Mermy's like a C. So this one being a B+ is actually a lot of extra value. It's also everything is also undead, which is great for synergies. But it still only gets to a B+. So don't go crazy over this, but it's definitely a good card. You should pick it. If there's a true premium, I don't even know what those will be. I haven't looked at the Druid cards coming in, but if there's some other sets that's coming in with ridiculous Druid cards, those are still going to take precedence over this. Okay. Next one is Beetlemancy. This is a very boring B tier card. It's a 5-mana, choose one. The first choice is gain 12 armor, so you will pretty much never choose that unless you're super desperate. It's a security it's parachute, I guess. 5-mana, gain 12 armor if you're about to die. But the one you're gonna pick is summon 2/3/3 beetles with taunt. 2/3/3s, they have taunt. It's pretty good. B. Next one is Nerubian Flyer. Now we're on to C+. So getting a little less good already. And that's a 2-mana, 2/3 undead. Battlecry. If a friendly undead died after your last turn, summon a 2/2 Nerubian. So on curve, this will pretty much never happen unless you happen to play that Lingering Zombie, and then your opponent happens to either kill it, the first body, or play something on the next turn before you coin something out, like a 2-drop, or play a 1-drop before you play the Nerubian Flyer. But if that does happen, super tempo. Otherwise, it's just kind of a crock, and later on in the game, if you synergize it with an undead, you get an extra 2/2, which in the later game is not really all that important. So it's a C+. Okay. Another C+ card is Under King. It's a epic card this time. It's a 7-mana 6/6 undead rush. Battlecry and Death Rattle gain 6 armor. 7-mana 6/6 rushes are fine. It doesn't have to be 7-mana 7/7 rushes. And this one gives you 12 armor altogether, which is a lot of health. So it's a C+. We just take good stat rushes for granted now. 4-mana 4/4 rushes should not be a normal thing. Okay. Now we're getting on to our next card, which is a Unending Swarm. 6-mana spell, common, resurrect all friendly minions that cost 2 mana or less. This was a C. You're really not expected to have that many 2 mana or less cards that you played and that die. Lingering Zombie would be one of the exceptions, but then you're summoning a 1-mana card, or a less than 1-mana card really for the subsequent bodies, because each of the bodies that come out counts as another minion. So that's not even necessarily a good thing for this card. But otherwise, you're summoning some stuff. If you play it on curve, you're probably not getting enough to justify the 6 mana. If you play it later on, just getting a bunch of not so good stuff for 6 mana. It's better than a Yeti. It's still a lot of stuff, but it's nothing special. I'm sure there's some constructed combo-y thing you're supposed to do with it, but in the arena, It works. It's just not that great. Next up, we are at a bunch of cards in Druid that are basically unplayable. The next one's an F+. The two after that are Fs. Like, Druid is not getting good cards here. So the one that's an F+ is a Crypt Keeper. It is an 8 mana 4/6 taunt. It costs 1 less for each armor you have. So it is almost purely a combo card where you play one of these cards that has like some insane amount of armor gain, and then this becomes free. If you can combo it, it's freaking insane. But assuming you cannot combo it, it's like a 7 mana 4/6 taunt. It's not good. It's not good. Then you get to the real bad ones, which are the F tier cards. The first one is Chitinous Plating. 2 mana, gain 4 armor. At the start of your next turn, gain 4 more. Gain 8 armor for 2 mana. Yeah. Then you have an Epic spell, 2 mana nature spell. It's called Wither. Choose a minion. Each friendly undead steals 1 attack and health from it. So it only works if you have friendly undead. If you have no friendly undead, it doesn't do anything. And then for each one that you have, you basically give a -1/-1 to whatever enemy you're targeting and a +1/+1 to your undead. It's a big synergy card, I guess, but how many undeads are you going to have on the board at the same time? And this card is totally unplayable without them. So it is very, very bad. Let's go on to the legendary cards for Druid. So basically, Druid sucks in this new set. And we've established that new set is where you get the good cards from, old set is where you get worse cards from. So they're not getting much from here, they're only going to get some bad cards. So Druid is just kind of not in a good place. But the legendary is good. There's an A tier legendary card, Unubrakon. Unubrakon is an 8 mana 7/7 undead. Battlecry, gain 8 armor this turn. Gain 8 armor. This turn, your minions cost armor instead of mana. I'm gonna have to revalue this card. Because I read that wrong when I was doing it. I thought this turn, your minions cost health instead of mana. But no, it costs armor. So you're really only gonna get 8 armor instead of mana. So I have this is we'll get back to this. When this is all done and online, it will have its actual initial score. But I got to go back and redo this one. 8 is pretty good. It's not A tier. There's no way it remains A tier because I was doing it with health and it was A tier. So this is going to drop. But basically, it's 8 mana 7/7, and then you get to spend another 8 mana on minions. Like, it's good. It's not going to be a bad card. It's not going to be an okay card. It's going to be a good card, but it's probably not going to be an A tier card. Because remember, when you're spending mana on minions, you still have to have the card. Like, you're not just getting an extra body. You're losing the card. You're, like, summoning it. So, instead of gain 8 armor, imagine it says gain 8 mana. And the mana can only be used on minions. Like, that's not the same thing at all. So, still going to be good, but I think it'll end up as like a B+ or a B even. Probably a B+. We'll see. By the way, all of these scores are on our Excel spreadsheet that is open to the public, and we update every single time a new set comes out. They do not get retroactively updated. This is not a tier list. This is just our predictions. And so they don't track, any kind of buffs or nerfs to a card. They don't track things that we just get wrong. They're just there to record what we said on these kinds of card preview streams and podcasts. So anyway, so that'll have the correct one. I'll make sure before I put it on there to do the math again on this. Elder Nadox is the other legendary card, and this one is bad. It's D tier. It's a 5 mana 5/4 undead. Battlecry, destroy a friendly undead. Your minions gain its attack. Battlecry is probably not that good. Like, it's probably not a positive. You're destroying a friendly undead, so you have to have a friendly undead, and you've destroyed it, and then your minions, how many minions do you have, are only going to gain its attack. Not all of its stats, just its attack. Possible way to get lethal or something, but otherwise not particularly impressive, is a D. That's it for Druid. There's nothing to say here for Druid. It's like, Druid is going to be bad for this expansion, which for this meta means it's just going to be bad. That's it for here. I want to give a shout out to everybody watching us live right now here on Twitch. It's always amazing that people will turn up just to see me, or I guess usually me and Merps, just talk about these cards. So thank you to everybody who's here watching right now, and people who are listening to this and or watching this on YouTube later. Yeah, this is why we keep doing this, and we spend the time and effort to get this out every single expansion. All right. Until the next one, which is, I want to say, I don't even know what the next one is. What is the next one? The next one is Hunter. Until Hunter, this is ADWCTA.